Hey guys, you want to hear a story?
Yeah.
All right. Well, this story goes back to when your dad, I was about 26, 27 years old. I had already graduated from culinary school. Actually, I was still in culinary school. I hadn't graduated yet. And I was a sous chef at a company named El Paso Barbecue Company. And it was out of Ahwatukee, Arizona. So I would drive there and we worked in the kitchen. In our kitchen, we had these huge, huge smokers. And the smokers were so big, they had a thing called a carousel. So basically, like that big ride that's here that you can get on that goes in a big circle. Okay, imagine something like that, but obviously not that big. But that's what it was like. And you put different meats and chickens in this machine, and it turns them around while it's smoking them. Well, during Thanksgiving, we would do smoked turkeys, and one of these big machines is in front of you of our guests. And when I mean they're big, I mean like three or four, maybe even five of people my size can fit in the smoker at once. So I have all these turkeys in there smoking during lunch, and you know, lunch rush, which is means when we're real busy, happens, and afterwards, all of a sudden I hear some clanking, clank, clank going on. I don't know what that sound is. So I decide to open up the smoker, and lo and behold, I see the carousel, which has these long metal shells, have now fallen, and some of my turkeys are inside the smoker. So I'm like literally in the ground in the smoker, which it's a big oven. So once again, this is when your dad was a little bit didn't really think that much ahead. So this is a machine that obviously has heat in it. So I take out all the turkeys that are left on the shells. So the shells are left. I remove the metal shells, and I see the turkeys are at the bottom. And at the time, turkeys are cheap. Just to let you know, turkeys are not expensive to buy. So I could easily order more, maybe. But your dad, and I'm sure guests got a show, decided to take them off. And I jumped into the smoker. I turned it off, didn't even let it cool down. I jumped right into the smoker. Full heat, and I forgot what degree it was at. It was over 100, obviously, 100 some degrees. And I jumped in there and removed the rest of the smokers that were burning my hands. Told someone to bring me a cart, like the carts you see me in, the black carts that we have in the catering company. Carts like that, and I'm throwing the turkeys on there. My cooks are like, "What?" The general manager comes out. He sees me in the smoker, and his eyes. He's just like doesn't know what to do. So I jump out of the smoker, and the minute I jump out of the smoker, he kicks me out of the restaurant. He's like, "Dude, you need to go outside." I'm like, "What's going on?" He's like, "I was like, no, I'm fine." He's like, "No, no, no." He's like, so when you jump into something that hot, which is bad for your body, very bad. Don't ever do anything like that. And then you jump into air conditioning, you can shock your body. So I had to go outside for a bit so my body could adjust in temp. But yeah, your dad was kind of crazy when I was first a sous chef. I was real young. I was real, I'll admit, your dad was, I was pretty crazy. I didn't care. So I just thought, saw turkeys and I thought my food cost. And I jumped in a giant smoker to save these turkeys for Thanksgiving. So that was an adventure that customers saw. And I'm sure it's going to be another adventure. And who knows, next time, I don't know what the story will be. I mean, there's plenty of stories I can tell you. So I don't know. Next time we'll think of another story. Maybe I'll tell you a story about one of my other good friends and mentors where he was beating somebody up with a frozen duck.
What?
You know, yeah. I mean, being a chef, you get crazy stories. I mean, being a chef, I've experienced a lot of good things, and I've experienced bad things. I've done some great things. Like I've told you before, your dad has done some bad things. And there's been some real funny moments in between. So I don't know, once a night, come and talk to you guys, tell you a story about something about your dad when he was a chef. If you want to know something, let me know. There's plenty of stories out there. I mean, believe me, your dad did have a life before he was a father. He was a chef way before he became a dad. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is a good way for us to get to know each other, and then I'll be posting this on YouTube so people will hear stories as well about your dad. Hear the crazy life of what your dad was. I didn't know much about my dad's life when he was younger, but I want to make sure you guys know about my life. What it was before you guys were around, the crazy stuff I did. Just to give you an example, your dad was known for not being the nicest guy in culinary school. So I got a bunch of stories about that, or like the first time I met my mentor Damiano, or the first time I met Chef Michael that you know, or even how me and Chef Michael one time he basically saved your dad's life. So there's a lot. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of things you guys don't know, and that you probably learn about me and people listening to us. Since this is the first time I upload one of these stories, is going to hear about us and learn things about us. But yeah, I lived a chef's life, which is a rock star's life. I've lived a very unique life. I've been in places I never would have been if I wasn't a chef. And but being that way I've been and pushing your body to limits and pushing yourself to limits also at the same time gets you in trouble. There's got to be a balance. And your dad's always been the type. When I get obsessed with a goal, I just keep pushing, pushing. I don't care. So I've done some crazy stuff, and I think you guys will have fun listening to stories, and I think it'll be good for the both of us. All right. So that was the story today, and you got to hear how your dad jumped into a giant smoker to save the smoked turkeys for Thanksgiving. Maybe next time I'll tell you how my line cook decided to slap my other line cook with a whole side of salmon. Yeah, like I said, in the kitchens we pulled jokes, and that's a joke. He had called them, and yeah, long story, but there's plenty of stories. So, till next time, guys. All right. Bye.